This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said.
Nightmares, I don't care, I love it.
It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorgat, Sorgatron on the Twitter, here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, here in a chilly but awesome night here. We are ready to talk some geeky things with our crew. First of all, with us from Studio D in the Big C of Studio C in the Big D. Damn it. Did it backwards again. John Chichilla, he's a gadget guru at Big Bank International, Esquire.
We should just start adding random letters every week. We'll pick a different city. I'll be from there.
There you go. There you go. You and that one lady wrestler that's on AEW Dark all the time.
I don't follow. I'm sorry.
Oh, I told you about that. How there's a wrestler that comes up every once in a while on one of the.
Oh yes, you have
big
told me. I
companies.
thought, but I didn't realize like it was wrestling. I knew it was wrestling. I didn't know what it was called.
Yes. Well, it's just the AEW. It's on the YouTubes. It's
On the YouTubes.
I hear like hailing from Dormont. I'm like, who knows where Dormont is? So, but apparently one of the announcers did. But anyways, also with us back on the show, of course, with all the Xbox announcements, we had to have the one that has the Xbox-centric background, along with a lot of Star Wars stuff. Crazy Krause back with us, also a person of the gadgetry of Big Bank International.
Hello, how are you? Yes, I am an Xbox guy.
There he is. There's his Elite Series X, whatever, in the background. So, yeah. So there were I think some stuff happened with Xbox this week.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. We'll get into all that and so much more. Dudders is out on assignment. We look forward to having her back in the studio here, probably in a couple weeks after the holiday, because I think there's a Dudders family road trip going on after this week. But anyways, please go check out everything at AwesomeCast.com. Email us at AwesomeCast@SorgatronMedia.com. And you can tweet us at AwesomeCast, AwesomeCast on the Facebook page and group. And, of course, we also have AwesomeCast on the Discord and the Reddit. Go look us up on the Reddit and then the Discord. The link is over on AwesomeCast.com if you want to hop into there. You can subscribe and rate us on your favorite podcast app. And watch the video versions. We are streaming live those video versions on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can join us in the chats. We got the chat rooms up. Of course, is this? Oh, Amanda's joining us from the Twitch today. She's in the Twitch room. She's usually joining us on Facebook. She's not on Facebook anymore. So see,
she's no more Facebook Amanda.
This is why we're providing the alternatives. So wherever you are, some people are not down with the meta. That's all right, or whatever the case may be. We're making sure wherever you may be, we can have an awesome conversation. So please, wherever you are, please jump into that, be a part of that conversation, share what's going on, and let us know what you think about all of that. Also, shout out to our partners over at postindustrial.com, letting people know about the awesomeness. And a big shout out to our Patreon supporters at patreon.com/awesomecast, our friends at the Coffee Club level, Matt Weller, John DeGore, John Carmen, Cynthia Klosky, Scott McTaggart, and Mike Pound, and our friends at the Fan of the Show level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Podner. You guys can support the show too at patreon.com/awesomecast. We do periodically put some extra content that we record if we have some time before and after the show. And then we record a little bit today that should be up, but maybe a little extended talk about Xbox perhaps. So let's get into it. You know what? I don't want to talk about Xbox first of all, because I think we're going to talk a lot about it here from the looks of things. I want to talk about buses. Can we talk about buses for a second?
I ride a bus at least once a week.
There you go.
I rode the T yesterday. I thought of you because I rode right by the studio.
See, there you are. Both of you. This is perfect because both of you are public transportation commuters. So I think you'll have a proper reaction to a lot of this. Have you guys had an opportunity to see Shang Chi yet? The new Marvel movie.
I got an opportunity to what?
Watch Shang Chi.
I have. I watched it over the weekend.
Okay, what about you, Krause?
No, not
You
yet.
haven't seen it yet. So you don't know. You've probably seen from the ads. There's a fight scene on a bus. Okay, and then it breaks down. Go ahead.
It's one of the. But I think what's important is it's one of those buses that have like the accordion in the middle.
Yes, and
we have those in Pittsburgh. I've seen them on the Pittsburgh streets.
We have those here in Pittsburgh, and it's in San Francisco. So classic car chase kind of situation with the fight on the bus, very marvelly, and it's a really fun scene in the long run. So there's a Twitter thread that's been going around. This was shared. Oh, geez, who shared this? I think it was Podner sent. Podner? No, Mad Mike. Mad Mike from the Wrestling Mayhem Show shared this. So this is a fellow, it seems, that he is apparently a bus driver on a Muni. So not SFT, but so he's rating the transit factors of the bus scene. He goes down through it, talks about the route and how long the route is versus where they are in the scene, because there's always a little bit of time jumps here when we do these kinds of things, right? But I love the he's going through this, talking about where they're at, talking about how they have nicer seats than the buses he uses, how this Jazz Blues ad festival, this Jazz Blues Festival ad is a real ad that he's seen on Muni buses. Let's see, goes through here. The one where the guy is streaming it and commenting, he's like, this would definitely happen. So sort of
that's
the
awesome.
floor, wear sensible boots while working on a bus. We talk about the hose. Cuts through the hose on the bus, talks about how the bus driver shouldn't have headphones on. That's a violation. He should be pulling his parking brake as soon as anything started happening. Also, according to the number on his sleeve, he's probably a part-time operator. And it goes straight through a lot about about the landmarks through there. And there's a whole breakdown of how air brakes work. After they cut the air brake line, and then spring brakes and the mechanical spring brakes, which I think is the one that he should have hit. Here, he's looking over the shoulder of the action, and we have an explanation. See that mirror? You should always use the mirror because you should never take your eyes off of the road as the bus driver. This guy is not okay. Also, when he gets knocked out, he falls right out of the seat, so he doesn't even have his seatbelt on. Another violation. Let's see, he gets hit in the head. He falls out again. No seatbelt. So this guy is probably getting fired after this incident. Was the determination here? So he gets all into it. They break down. There's a scene where Shang-Chi jumps into the seat and he breaks down and says about how there's never any space there because there's always computer equipment. I think he pointed out the guy's lunch at some point here. It's a really, really fun thread that takes way too much detail analytics on. Also, it's like, oh, and here's one of them was like, here's the brake that he should have got. Oh, look, he uses the mirrors like he's supposed to. Oops, it ended up in something else. But yeah, it's a really, really good breakdown. We'll link that. That is at that_MC. Was really impressed apparently with the Every bus operator cheers when the scooters get smashed to threads. So it keeps going. It's a long thread. It's a lot of fun. This is what I'm here for. So yeah. So he said, the accordion bus when it got severed. He says this is more or less how it would react when it operates the motor coaches. Although he does not operate one of them. And there's the scene where they like look down at the mechanics that are about to sever and are all messed up when they start cutting the bus. He's like, I have no idea what's going on down there. So, when Shang Chi's outside hanging from the bus, knocking on the window, he says, "This is how everyone asks us to be let in the bus when we aren't at a stop. Too real." So, a lot of fun. Go check that out. It's a good fun read. There. So, there was
Do you remember the Bruce Willis movie that was in Pittsburgh?
Right, Striking Distance.
Striking Distance.
Yes, when there's the car scene.
There was the car chase. I worked as an EMT at the time, and I knew Pittsburgh like the back of my hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember sitting in the theater going, that street does not connect to this street.
Yep.
You know, because I knew where they were. You know what I mean?
Well, you have the same problem when we're watching the Dark Knight Rises, and you see them go by Kaufman's building like back and forth several times, and then take a left turn, and they end up somewhere in Chicago.
Yeah.
What was the Tom Cruise movie that was filmed here?
Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher. He like comes like around, like he comes around like he's coming out of the not the Liberty, Fort Pitt. I think it's the Fort Pitt tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Or he comes out. It's like he's coming out of one of the tunnels around one of those like bends. Like he's gonna end up on Fort Duquesne Boulevard. But then he ends up in the Strip District.
Yes.
It's like, wait, that doesn't work that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, those are always a lot of fun. Actually,
I think he came through the Armstrong. He came through the Armstrong tunnel and ended up like he skipped all of town and ended up in the Strip District.
I actually worked with somebody 2 weeks ago at a comedy show that was in Jack Reacher. So, but I feel like you could throw a rock and find somebody that was in Jack Reacher at this point. But you know, But yeah, so I mean that was a lot of fun. You know, getting. I mean, it's kind of like how Neil deGrasse Tyson like breaks down space movies. This is that wouldn't happen. No, you know, like things like that. So no, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun read. So all right, let's get into You got anything else on this?
Sorry, one more real quick comment. Because I don't think it's anywhere else in the notes, unless I missed it. Don't forget, 8:30 tonight is the release of the second Spider-Man trailer.
Yes, I actually had a message from Mad Mike at the Wrestling Mayhem show. It says, I want to watch this at 8:30. I want to watch this on repeat until the show starts at 9 p.m. For our Wrestling Mayhem show. And he's like, to be honest, I'm going to probably watch this on mute while Sorg does ad reads.
Is he going to watch it like one frame at a time? It would be interesting if he
like
could
that.
make it last one time through.
Also, Mike just came back from Disney.
I saw, and I was totally jealous.
And did not know that Disney Day was happening while he was down there. But he has a hat.
Wow.
He has a hat. You saw the dance, right? You saw the dance gif, right? That we put in Slack?
I did not see that one.
Just look in the general.
I was responding to some of his stuff on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was his reaction when he saw like the She-Hulk and stuff. So, we might touch on that a little bit later. But because I thought I put that. Yeah, no, we have some of that in there, so we can get back around to it. But let's get with your awesome things. You guys, I think mostly have a very similar awesome. Actually, no, Chilla, you got a very different one, don't you?
Have Krause go first because I think mine will be a layer on.
Okay, go ahead. So Krause, what happened last week? I wonder.
Well, it was actually last week. It was yesterday.
That's right.
The 20th anniversary of the Xbox.
Disney Day was Friday. Xbox 20th was Monday. Got it.
Right. Yeah. So yesterday. So they had anniversary episode. I don't know what you would call it, a extravaganza, the video stream, a live stream. And so during the live stream, they announced a documentary, 6-part documentary that they paid some pretty big, from what I understand, a documentarian to do the birth of the Xbox. And so basically they're going to go back in time and interview all the players. I guess it started with 4 guys. And so they're going to go through that. There were, it was weird. Some places write 66. This says 70 new backwards compatible titles were released.
I saw 73.
They released a Halo teaser for the TV show, which I was surprised here. It's coming to Paramount Plus, which that's good because I'm a subscriber. So
Me too.
yay me.
Me too.
And then the big news was the Halo multiplayer was released early.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, so far, it's given me lots of good feels about nostalgia, but it's new enough to be exciting. I'm really enjoying it so far.
Was that a grappling hook?
Yes.
Yes, I found the grappling hook by accident and I freaked out.
It's really neat. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
What was the game that was like out in the snow and you had the grappling hook?
Are you like Assassin's Creed Syndicate that happened in London?
No. This was
it was one of the mech games, I think.
It was kind of like a mech game. I don't think you could you get in a mech?
Titanfall?
No, it was before it was pre-Titanfall. It was pre-Xbox One.
Was it Mercenaries
and we
or
played
Mech
it all the
Warrior?
time.
We played it all the time, and it was one of my favorites. They even came out with the second one.
Yeah.
But it wasn't nearly as good as the first. And the funny part is like Shadowrun. I noticed that's available on backwards compatibility.
Oh, that's awesome. I got to play that.
Beautiful Katamari, Dead or Alive series was part of that. The Fear series, the entire Max Payne series. Unfortunately, my Max Payne 1 and 2 I only have on the PlayStation 2. But I can still play those, so that's not a big deal. I can throw those in a PlayStation 2 and play those. But still, so it was nice. So I got one new disc to try out, and I'm really sad because I have the double disc with Star Wars Clone Wars and Tetris Worlds from the time, and both are on the compatibility list, but not the 2-pack. So it won't recognize it, I guess. So I haven't tried it since this though. To see if it will pop up. But Beautiful Katamari started installing last night, as well as the 70 gigabytes of Halo. Holy crap. So,
yeah, holy heck,
yes. But yeah, no, I played some Halo. As I was telling you before the show, I'm not a Halo multiplayer player typically, but this was fun to jump into. I actually pulled it up here on the work computer on the cloud and played about 3 matches. Any problems I had seemed to be cloud related as opposed to the Halo itself, the game itself. So but no, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. It was easy to pick up and play. For me, not being like a crazy first person shooter, I didn't feel like I was just getting murderized, because every time I play these games, it's well after they're released, I'll hop in multiplayer and just get massacred, right?
Because all of the quote unquote new players are gone by then.
Yeah. Who I think somebody messaged in the Slack, get on it now before it gets toxic. So it was just like pretty much every one of these games. So I don't play Call of Duty anymore. It's just not fun anymore because you just get murderized. It's just like, well, how can I get less murderized this time? Is the thing. So because when you're a casual player, they're not for casual players, and I don't know if they made any threads to take care of that. Maybe the levels will make a difference. I don't know. So
I would hope they can. But I thought, didn't they do like level matching and?
Yeah, there is, what do they call it, smart. But when you get to a point like Sorg said, he wasn't buying the game until it was 6-8 months out down the road.
Yeah, so there's no.
So your pool is pretty limited.
Yeah, there's no newbies for me to hop in with to like get to know the maps and the weapons and everything, right? So, but man, I'm looking down and say, it's a little more clear now to say, oh, hey, your right trigger is this, your left trigger is loaded as this. And I was like, oh, cool. Hey, what's this on the right trigger? And I did a grappling hook, and I'm like, oh my God, here we go. And it's like a one-time. It's like when you throw the things. It's only a couple time use. You can't just grapple all around this place.
Oh,
But
Yeah, you can't be
yeah.
like Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, you have to like it's an item to pick up, right? So
that's like how Lost Planet. You got to keep that
That
grappling hook.
was it. Lost Planet. There
And
it
you could
is.
grapple. Can you grapple and hang? Because you used to be able to
I don't
find like
know.
these weird nooks and crannies
Yeah.
where you could grapple and hang with a sniper rifle.
I'm wondering. So Lost Planet, like 1 and 3, I think just came up on Games for Gold. So like, is that worthwhile? Should I hop into those a little bit?
Lost Planet, the first one is definitely worth it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I hopped in. I'm like, I don't know what this is. I don't know if I should get into this or get started with this. But yeah, no, that's fun. That's fun.
If anyone, I mean, I probably won't have time until like the week between Christmas and New Year's, but unless you're doing like late night Friday or late night Saturdays. But if you want to get in some online gaming, I would definitely. Well, I think we should do. What would be fun is to do a stream of like the lost games, right? Like if we did Shadowrun, Lost Planet. What was the one, Krause? And I don't even think they ever made backwards compatible. Crimson Skies. I think they only have Crimson Skies 2 and backwards compatibility.
No, it's out there, but I don't think the multiplayer is available. I think it's just a single player.
Yeah, man.
game.
I've been. You guys talking about Crimson Skies? I've been playing it on the cloud.
It's great.
Yeah, it's a pretty great game actually. So.
Yeah.
And the multiplayer was phenomenal. We used to have LAN parties and play nonstop.
Yeah, I remember doing that. Somebody had like Doom 3, and we hooked a couple original Xboxes together. So.
Oh no! Back in the day, we used to carry computers, the whole switches, the whole 9 yards.
Into hotel conference rooms.
Yeah, we'd rent a hotel conference room for a whole day and plug everybody in. And this was before the internet, before you could plug it all in. And it was great. We used to have a ball.
Yeah, excellent. Sorry, I lost my train here. Chilla, you have an expansion upon this that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so Twitch and Streamlabs have teamed up. And if you're familiar, like Xbox doesn't have, I can't even remember what it was called now. They had their own kind of streaming service. Mm-hmm. You can now stream the Twitch right from your Xbox.
Yeah.
You're left with the typical Twitch interface. There's no, if you really want to do anything to spruce up your stream, you end up, plugging in some kind of capture card to a PC and then doing your overlays and then streaming out from there, instead of streaming directly from the Xbox, which then means you need a PC with a capture card and other stuff to make it all look pretty. And that ends up costing even more money, right? Mm-hmm. This isn't free, but Streamlabs has teamed up with Twitch, and they are allowing you from the Xbox. There's going to be an option that actually says, what was it? Stream. You can now select Streamlabs as the destination in the Twitch app, and then you can go into the Streamlabs Studio website and customize your stream. And then even more than that, there's a smartphone or tablet component that lets you use your smartphone or tablet as a webcam to also layer in.
Because that's my toughest thing, is going through and setting up a webcam and making sure the audio's up, but I have to like plug it in across the room from me. So every time I want to do this is such a pain in the butt. I never want to. So I just give up and throw the stream up and just whatever. There's no audio or video, but it'll just be me playing kind of thing.
Well, it's funny you mentioned, so we have this weird setup where I have a 10-foot USB cable attached to the HD60S that's the pass-through for the Xbox, and then that cable runs like across the floor and into a PC that ends up on like a foldable corner table that's then balanced with like a camera ring light that also has a webcam mount in the ring. But it's like this, don't move too much, don't trip over the cable, don't do this or that. The whole entire time we end up playing any kind of console game, because that's how it's set up. This to me is way it's going to be way better. Now,
that's exciting.
the downside is, and I guess it depends on how you look at it, the downside is you do have to pay for Streamlabs Studio,
Okay.
which is either $5 a month or $50 a year. Now, the way I look at it, a decent webcam is going to run you probably $50 to $100 if you can find one.
Yep.
The PC, you could probably refurb like an old, like probably a 5-year-old laptop if all you were doing was the stream. Like it's not powering the game, it's not doing anything else but being the stream.
Yep.
You're probably at least looking either at trying to cobble something together out of leftover parts, or probably $100-$200 on that. So you're quickly the webcam alone you've paid for a year worth, right? Plus the capture card and everything else. I don't know. I think it's a pretty sweet deal, especially if people want to think about, hey, am I going to get into this? Do I want to do this long term? Spend $5, try it out, and take it from there. Or you could always
$50 for the year.
Or spend $50 for the year. It's a deal. Who knows what they'll have? I mean, I don't know if Streamlabs does any Black Friday deals. Maybe they cut that down a little bit. But no, I thought it was a really nice thing to do, or a way to make streaming more accessible while adding in some of the bells and whistles that someone could normally do on their own.
No,
I got to tell you, if they'd have done this, I'd have probably not bought a couple things that I bought recently.
Right. There's
yeah,
always
and just did it straight from my Xbox. Why not?
Absolutely. I like it. I'll be looking at that. And just as another option to play with, because I mean, the way I do things, I love to have a thing does this. But if it's just a Twitch stream, you're not doing it for a client. That's like, yeah, we can just make it a software and make it a thing, right? So, no, that's fantastic. So looking forward to that. So, but anyways, excellent. Well, hey, giving a shout out to our friends here, Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza here in Beachview, right up the street. Man, they're hopping today. Beachview, Carnegie, East End, the North Hills, New York City style. Yins are made. And as I go to New York City, or I'm sorry, as I drive through New York, at least twice now in October, doing a couple work trips. Or actually, there was a wedding trip and a work trip, and we still took it to our friend 6 hours away, and he rewarmed it and ate some in his kitchen. So all set there. So, but give it a shout out to them. SliceOnBroadway.com. Go check them out. And thank them for supporting the show. All right, let's stick with the video games for a while. A lot of video game news, so let's just roll with that. We talked about Halo Infinite. I think we mostly have that pretty much covered. You talked a little bit about the backwards compatibility, of course, and the thing is, like, even some stuff that's already out there is there's a lot of enhancements happening, it looks like, including enhancements happening for Xbox Ones, because previously a lot of these enhancements would happen at the Xbox Series or what were the ones before the Series S and the X, like the S models or something like that. Like, you had to get like the newer models of the Xbox One in order to see some of the improvements on like 360 and Xbox games, right? But it sounds like some of that is rolling down to just even the original Xbox One at this point. So, so you mentioned a couple there. Like I'm seeing Time Splitters, Max Payne 3. It was a game I loved. That's good to see. The Fear series, more Star Wars games that I feel like they're announcing Star Wars games that I've already seen, or Star Wars games I don't care to play, to be quite honest. Because it's not like Potter. It's like, hey, do you want to play the Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith game, or the Starfighter game, or the Clone Wars game? Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast is part of this, which again, I feel like I think Jedi Academy is the one I've been playing. A couple SpongeBob games, Skate 2, Time Splitters, which I thought that was a big GameCube game, if I recall, right?
I think the original was, maybe.
What's that?
I'm not sure. I'm not 100%
yeah,
sure.
It feels like one that was out there. Viva Pinata, Party Animals, if you like that. Toy Story Manias. Like, some of these seem really weird picks when you get in here. More MX versus ATV. Quake Arena Arcade is a part of this. That would be a nice one to pick up. And again, like if you haven't played the Max Payne series, they're all in there. Fear, Disney Universe. At least 3 of the did live games. So it's good to see they're dedicating to this. It feels weird when they have to do these in waves, and it's like frustrating when you have, if it's not a game that was big, although I question how big some of these are. Like I'm sitting on a couple of Xbox games, like a James Bond game and a weird game called Whiplash, I think it's called, with like this bunny and that it's weird. But it's a game I liked, right? But my Hulk game works, so I don't know. It's nice that they're rolling them out, but they're also not terribly as stingy as Nintendo is with backwards compatibility. So I think this is a win-win for this kind of situation, right?
More games is always good. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, I agree. I don't care how old they are, as long as they were fun to play. And
right.
To your point with the Halo, right? It's enough nostalgia, but it's still fun.
You can Chilla. You can bring back the good old days with your son of playing. Are you smarter than the 5th grader? Make the grade game. Right.
I've never actually played that, but it might be fun.
What grade is he in? He's not in 5th grade yet. No way he's in 5th grade.
Second.
He's in 2nd grade. There you go. There's the true test. There you go. So that's rolling out. You mentioned Twitch earlier. Twitch is rolling out on Nintendo Switch. I did not see. Let's see. This was through a photo that Brandon sent with us. I did not see if it's just to watch or if they're going to have the streaming capabilities like the Xbox version does. Have you seen?
I would assume it's going to have the streaming capabilities. Wouldn't that be the whole reason to put it there?
It feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Although they don't have any kind of like voice. How would you? Although I guess you could use your phone or something else. I don't know. That'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I should get my Switch out and download the Twitch app. Huh?
There you go.
Yeah, I haven't tried that one yet on there. I'm interested to see what that's like.
Hey, if nothing else, you can at least watch this show on Twitch there, and our indie wrestling.us 24/7 stream. So if you want to check out some local wrestling, it's all part of that. So let's see what else we got here, and let's see. Who put this in here? Rocket League in 2D. What is this?
I did. So I'm actually interested to see how this plays. I'm a huge fan of the Rocket League. But they announced a while back that they were going to be coming out with a iOS or Android version. And it's going to be a 2D version, and you're going to be able to play solo or as a team. So with a friend for it seems like it's going to be 2v2. But it's a 2D flat environment. If you go to the video and hit the play button, it kind of has a quick run through of kind of what it's going to look like.
Okay.
But it looks like you're going to be able to, if you play in, it's called Sideswipe.
Mm-hmm.
If you play Sideswipe, if you win, you'll earn a bonus win in Rocket League. And once you win an online match in Rocket League, you get extra XP for your bonus wins. And then bonus wins can also be earned for Sideswipe by playing Rocket League. So you'll kind of actually earn extra XP in both games by playing
or the other game.
Or the other game, right? I thought it's a pretty cool concept to get people playing across both. And it kind of gives a more, I'm guessing, mobile experience for mobile. And then obviously the big screen. I don't understand why they couldn't, and it's out there for the Switch. Why couldn't they bring it to most phones? I don't know, but a cool concept, and I'm excited. I'm hoping they do more with like the cross game promotions, right? Can I earn special cars in Sideswipe that I can then unlock new looks and stuff on the full game, and vice versa. I think it'll be fun. because it's kind of weird because there's some cars I have that are in Switch only,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's some stuff I have that's Xbox
And
only.
then now it gets weird because then if you use your Xbox only, Switch only stuff, like it doesn't show up in other I could be the Halo Warthog and it doesn't show up in other games or there's a vehicle from Gears of War I have actually, but I've seen a Warthog as well, and then people have stuff from PlayStation and everything, so it's a kind of a weird thing. But my Knight Rider kit car and my Ecto 1 work. Oh, I need to play some Ecto 1. Rocket League in celebration of Ghostbusters this weekend. So it has launched already in the Australia, Oceania, Polynesian countries, but they did confirm that it will be launched globally before the end of the year. So watch out for that now. It's not. I just was checking the App Store, didn't see it in there yet. So that's one we're definitely going to check out. Chilla, please let us know in the Slack because I know you're going to know when it comes out. All right.
This is one I was surprised because they didn't have there's no like sign up now for when it's released in your area, which kind of surprised me. But
yeah. That'd be maybe.
Hopefully, maybe when it gets a little closer, nobody knows because there's another Star Wars game coming out that I saw. Another Lego Star Wars.
Is this one Apple Arcade as well?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the Apple Arcade's been. Did I talk about the Transformers game? Yeah, I did last week, didn't I? I'm still playing that. I've forgotten about Lego Battles already. Lego Star Wars Battles already. But it's the same game. It really is the same game. Although it is wild. I did bring it up on the Apple TV because we were asking that question because all the images were this like sideways version of the stage. Yeah, the Apple TV is the sideways version of the stage, right? Which actually is a lot easier because you got the controller. You can just bring it straight up to your area. In order to drop it, and it's not nearly as precise, of course, or anything like that. But still kind of fun to play on there. So kind of nice on a big TV to be able to see all the pieces too. So definitely worthwhile. So let's see what else we got here. All right, let's talk Disney Plus Day. We're all Marvel fans at the very least, and Marvel was really the biggest thing. Like Star Wars only got the first look at Obi-Wan, right? And a little bit of interview with what's his face, Obi-Wan on that. And but really Marvel just kind of blew things out of the water on this thing, didn't they, with their announcements? And some of these are shows that we knew were coming, but like there's a lot of surprises. I mean, you guys have got to be excited for X-Men 97. Which looks like it's going to be picking up where they left off with the X-Men Fox series, right?
No, I'll be honest with you. So I didn't see the preview for this, and I do remember. Was this the X-Men that was also the Saturday morning cartoon?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
And
I'm
by the
excited
way,
about that. Because
there was-
didn't they do another one that was on MTV?
You're thinking Spider-Man, I think.
I know there was a Spider-Man on MTV, but I also thought there was another X-Men.
You're thinking Generation Next.
I am thinking Generation.
Because they had like a TV movie that was supposed to be a backdoor pilot with Matt Fruber that didn't work out. But that was one thing. So we say stuff like, so you didn't watch the full preview. We did get some new clips of Moon Knight, She-Hulk, which looks fantastic. We didn't see her in the full getup, but we saw a little bit of green leg. Hulk is in it. At least, I presume for the setup of the show or something like that. And I feel like, Krause, did we get footage of another show? I can't remember. We had more footage of Hawkeye. I know that. But I think that was it.
They announced Agatha.
They announced, and these are just logos and coming soon, basically. The Agatha show, the Echo show, which is going to spin off of a character that will be introduced in Hawkeye, I guess. I'm not familiar with that character. They mentioned the Groot cartoon, the Guardians holiday special. They showed a logo, so I imagine the holiday special isn't coming this year. I'm guessing it's going to be next holiday.
Ironheart was another one.
Ironheart, which is we saw a clip of Miss Marvel. Very, very, very excited for that. Very excited for that. And beyond, if you're not excited for Miss Marvel as the concept, which was like one of the first Muslim characters that they've had, like prominent Muslim characters that they've had in there, and I think they do, not know the culture personally, but they did a fantastic job of representing that in the cartoon and even in the video game, the Avengers video game I've been playing.
Yeah, the
But
Avengers video game. They did
I
a great job.
love that story in the Avengers video game. I'm only just hanging out with Hulk so far. We just started going to things that look like they're multiplayer battles, you know. So, but they're just that's so much fun, and I'm really excited for that. And also, somebody brought up something on our podcast I was listening to. It says, "Well, you know, this is like the first step of Young Avengers." I'm like, "Holy crap!"
Well, and then but I didn't see anything, and I'm guessing they're waiting till after Ironheart lands. But that then start the Armor Wars?
That could definitely be a part of it. It depends on where they're at. You know, maybe she's a part of that. Maybe she lands. Maybe the Armor Wars introduce her. For that matter, I can't remember where they were because I think they said that logo before Armor Wars. So, either way, there's a lot that they can play with here. They're going to do all kinds of stuff with the movies. It's going to. We are getting a What If season 2. Of course, we knew Loki was coming season 2. No WandaVision season 2, but I think that's going to play into some other stuff that's going on here. So, which will be a little clearer probably after we all watch Spider-Man in a few weeks, or this trailer this evening in about 45 minutes as of this recording.
It's crazy how they're all connected.
It's
they
so
keep
good.
those balls in the air, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
and getting all those connected pieces together.
And it's not
so
always
awesome.
and it's not always clean because sometimes the directors get frustrated, right? There's a classic of this, but it's like, but it works, you know. If you're gonna, you know, when you got to do comic books the Marvel way, right? And you got to do movies the Marvel way too. Right, like there's the Marvel method of this, and that's Kevin Feige and whatever that outline is, and however they organize it. Right, you know, Star Wars doesn't have this problem because Star Wars is like we have about 60 years of history between all the movies that we can play with, and
But I feel like they have not done the Marvel good of a job with Star Wars.
No. But that was the original interconnected universe, right? I mean, of sorts. I guess we really only had movies and Clone Wars.
When it came to the books, it was definitely interconnected.
But
and they just dropped all that.
I think when you talk about when they started with the Clone Wars cartoon, that's when that thread started getting picked up a little better with Star Wars, right? And they faltered a little bit, and they pulled back on their movie products, but man, they're really going to it for series, aren't they? So, you know, hopefully, I don't know. We didn't see a lot of Star Wars series in this preview, so
Obi-Wan's going to be. When's Obi-Wan release?
I didn't see. It was probably not for another year because that preview was really light on things. So not as light as the Willow one, which is just. Which was just the guy that plays Willow just walking around talking to the young actors and not understanding them. But anyways, let's see. Bad news: the Steam Deck is is delayed into 2022. I put my $5 down on one of these things. This is the Nintendo Switch like video game console that's going to run on Linux. You could put Windows on if you wanted to, and it's going to be just kind of ready to go. With that, but so it starts at about $400 for those setups. I put in for the $400 one, and also I'm kind of curious about what other kind of applications for a handheld PC like this could be for maybe some production ideas or things like that. But either way, I'll be able to play my Steam collection with ease at this point. So looking forward to that. And it is Linux. It's straight up Linux. I'm pretty sure you can throw a browser on there. I'm excited at the prospect of being able to maybe put on the Xbox Game Pass cloud or the GeForce Now services on this thing too, to make this will basically be, I'm hoping, just my all-around game machine. So that's the dream right now. So we'll see what happens to that. But I mean, as if this iPhone isn't already, right? So, but yes. I don't know. Are you guys looking at the Steam Deck? Did anybody else put $5 down on this?
I didn't put $5 down on it, but I'm definitely interested.
Want to see kind of how it goes, right? So
I didn't either. I like the idea, the concept of portable gaming, but it never just seems to work out for me. You know, because I have this Switch and I just don't use it.
Yeah, I definitely have too many choices in games. I mean, an embarrassment of choices between like my collection freebies in the Game Pass and everything, and just trying to figure out how I can like pick up and play more
So-
and more.
So I have a Steam account,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a couple games I grabbed on there.
Mm-hmm.
So explain this to me, because I've got, like I said, I've gotten a couple games. I play them. The funny part is, a couple of them are like Windows. A couple of them like the only run on Windows. A couple of them run cross-platform. Like I can run it on Windows or Mac.
There's
So how will that work with their mobile device?
So it's going to be the Linux-based thing. I can't recall. Actually, my brother is probably the one that can answer this, and he'll be in the chat or he'll be in the comments, I'm sure, eventually. But to my awareness, because remember they had the Steam boxes like that you could get, and they will like stream or play them and things like that, and they were running Linux. I think either they had to be ported, or maybe for this, I thought I read that they may have a compatibility layer for Windows games to work on Linux.
Okay.
Okay, like I think they might be running some kind of virtual machines kind of situation. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's how it works. Because I mean, the games they're showing are ones that I don't immediately think would be, because they had Linux games on there, but like when I loaded onto Ubuntu, not a lot of my games were compatible with that. And then what does that do when you have I have the 3D Realms collection? So I have like Commander Keen and Duke Nukem, right? Is that going to run on this thing? Like, and in my Steam games, I don't have very new Steam games, other than like some indie titles, right? And some wrestling titles, Firestorm Pro or Fire Pro Wrestling, things like that. Like, as long as those run on it, I'm good. I'm not interested quite so much. I'm not looking to run like Halo Infinite on this thing necessarily, right? I just want my back collection to be there and the streaming collection, if that's the case too. Can I throw my Epic? Can I throw my Epic account on here and get all those free games I've been playing over there that I haven't had a computer to put them on, right? So that's what I'm looking forward to. And it looks like there's going to be options. You can plug this in. It's going to support monitors and everything like that. So you can have this here, plug it into your TV, and just have a full screen. Sounds like what you would do with the Steam. With a Nintendo Switch as well. So I think it just opens up for possibilities. And then what else can we do with that beyond gaming? So is this a control deck I could use? A very high-end control deck I use. Can I stream with this thing? Can I turn this into a Twitch streamer that I just load? I take my ATEM Mini here, have this thing, and I have a little more control. Who knows? But until we get these in our hands and see what we can do with it. Krause, you got let's roll around to, because I mean we're talking about some of the Star Wars stuff and everything, but you had a story in here about what Netflix is doing.
Yeah, Netflix is going to use an avatar for the Avatar show that they're starting to shoot.
This is
they're
live.
They call it the Mandalorian-style stage, so which is I think going to be really interesting, because what they did with the Mandalorian, I don't know about anybody else, but I was super impressed by that show. And the quality that they got out of that, and the fact that the whole sound stage is like basically a video game screen.
Yep.
It's pretty incredible.
Just the highlights of that for people that don't recall from us talking about before. Basically, Mandalorian is on this circular screen image stage. They'll put some practical set pieces in the foreground for people to interact with and fill in the space, but the whole thing works and syncs and actually runs on Unreal Engine. The video game engine, and they could control it with they had a tablet, presumably an iPad, to control things like that. So when you're you see the desert space or a space hangar or something, and you're like, this looks real, looks like they're really in the desert. No, it's just a scene in this kind of paneled video screen setup, right? So that's the idea, and just to clarify, this is Avatar: The Last Airbender, not the Blue People.
Yeah, right.
Yes, yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
So, no, I think that's awesome. I think we suspected this after seeing what Mandalorian could accomplish. I think I think we're going to see more and more places take this on. Right?
Did you see the stats there? It's 84 feet across, 28 feet high, featuring 2,300 square feet of stage and 3,000 LED panels.
Listen, I just had a conversation with somebody that's talking about how how they can you know, they have to go to a movie set that's like out in the middle, like that is in the winter, set in the winter, out in the mountains, that they're going to have to potentially go to here for a couple months. I think he would love if this thing actually was a digital set instead. And he's not painting in the winter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
right.
So that's interesting. So so looking forward to see how that goes. I'm excited they're doing this. Hell, I'm excited for Cowboy Bebop that's coming out this weekend. I own Cowboy Bebop, but it's just been easier to put it on Netflix because that's on every hotel I've been in the last month, and so I've been catching up and through that. I'm almost through the series once again, of course, to be freshened up for the live action that's dropping, I think Thursday or Friday at this point. So looking for, there's a lot of good stuff to be watching the next few weeks. So anyways, anything else we want to touch on the way out here? Any last stories? Last call for awesome stories.
I hit all mine.
Anybody watching Yellowstone?
No, what's happening on Yellowstone?
Oh, that's such a great show. You gotta watch that one.
There's your crazy Krause recommendation for the week, I guess.
Yeah,
Did you? So
Yellowstone.
speaking of, are you watching Lock and Key?
We watched the first season of that, but I haven't watched the second one yet.
Second season just dropped like a couple weeks back. We
Yeah.
just started it. It's good. I mean, we're back into it. So
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we watched the first season, but I don't think we've started the second one yet.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you, Crazy Krause, for filling in on our Xboxiness tonight.
Anytime you need me.
There you go. And Crazy Krause on the Twitter with the K's. And if you want to hit him up for any questions, conversations, or Disneyness or Marvelness.
Crazy
or
Krause
Star.
on Xbox Live. Come on now.
There you go. Let's get our Halo night together, right?
Yeah, definitely. What did you say? You were available Thursday?
We'll talk about that off air.
Okay.
So I need to figure out how I can do these streams while I'm in a hotel room of potentially question. Oh, I'm gonna have no internet this weekend. Oh no, it's this place in the mountains and it's really scary and it's like The Shining. Oh no, and I'm going out there myself this time. Okay. Anyways, duty calls, I guess. At Chill on the Twitters as well.
John's chill on the Facebooks. I'm still on the Facebooks.
You are. You have not shunned this Facebook yet. So, but that's okay if you are, wherever you are. What's up, John Carmen in the chat room over on the Facebook? He's still hanging out there and educating all of us with his posts I see from time to time. And let's see. Dave Ponder was out there tonight at Tiny Shutter Podcast. And, of course, Amanda hanging out on the Twitch stream. We appreciate everybody that does tune in live and everybody that catches us after the fact on the podcast and video feeds. Thank you at Sorgatron on the Twitter for me if you want to follow my adventures. Again, a little bit of traveling happening this weekend across the state and whatever else may be going on. Thank you, everybody. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.